Hey, what's going on, Pisces? Butch here. I am going to do you 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Witch's Tarot. And I decided to change my background a little bit. Anybody see anything that I might have done wrong or right, feel free to put that in the comments. I just wanted something a little bit more to look at. Everybody knows I have a ton of hats, and I thought that was a cool background. But let me know. I might be wrong. And yeah, I mean, the sad thing is this is not even a scratch of the hats I do have. I have more on the walls here that you can't see, but anyway, since this is the first time video that I'm going to be doing with this background, I just thought maybe I'd get some feedback. If you have anything, let me know. That being said, I'll stop taking my time here and get right into it. Let's do it. Universe, what do we have for Pisces? What's going on for Pisces, universe? What is going on for Pisces? All right, Pisces. So the first thing I do see is I feel like this is a fairly new energy. This can be somebody that's just coming in or someone that you just met, but I feel like right off the beginning of this person, there's definitely a strong connection that you feel. You know, there's definitely something more going on here, but I feel like it's really hard to see. You know, I feel like there's this, like I said, there's this unspoken connection that you have with this person, and it's, you know, I feel like it hits really quickly. You know, it's something that I feel like it affects you physically. And not so much like you're physically attracted to the person, not to say you're not, but what I mean by that physical is it's almost like, I don't want to say you get butterflies in your stomach when you're around this person, but that sort of feeling, you know what I mean? I feel like there's definitely something you feel when you're around this person. And the first card that we see is that Lover's card. You know, I feel like there's something very unique about this person, very unique about how you feel when you're around this person. You know, I feel like this person makes you feel something that you've never felt, or at least I feel like it's been a long time since you felt anything close. Now with this person, even though you feel this connection, I do feel like I do feel some resistance from this person. And I feel like you feel it as well. You know, just because we feel a certain way around someone doesn't mean it's just going to fall into place. You know, I do see a self-imposed prison around this person. You know, I feel like they keep people away, you know, and I feel like, you know, It's kind of like a self-preservation. But with you, I feel like the walls went up. It's almost like they put a second layer on those walls. And like I said, I feel like you feel it as well. Now, with that, I feel like I get this sense that it's almost like when you feel that energy from this person, it's almost like, did you get this wrong? Is this one-sided? And there's so many questions that I feel like start to pop up. And we start to see the negatives instead of the positives here. Now, what I do see is I feel like how this person really feels will shock you. And it will shock you because of all these things we already talked about. The self-imposed prison keeping you at an arm's length. What's really going on in this person's head, like I said, it will shock you. I feel like this person feels the exact same way about you. They feel drawn to you. They feel, excited to be around you. They feel something that with them, I feel like they've never felt this before. And I feel like it's hitting them like a ton of bricks. And the way they feel for you is moving so quickly. I mean, they're falling fast and hard for you. It's moving really quickly. And I feel like with this person, I feel like they're keeping their truth from you. How they feel about you, they're going to keep that from you. Or at least they're going to try. They're hiding in plain sight here. It's not that they're lying to you. I feel like it's more of an omission. But I feel like they're trying to hide how they feel about you. And the reason why they're trying to hide you will also surprise you. It's not that they don't want you, because that's not the case at all. They do want you. The reason why they're doing what they're doing is because they don't feel like they could give you what you want. They don't feel like they're good enough for you. They don't feel they don't feel like they have their shit together. And they feel like that's what you deserve. Like, the more they get to know you, the more they feel like they're out of their league. I feel like this person has been so out of balance, and I feel like they're not, like, they're not working with their best game right now. And I feel like the reason why they're not telling you how they feel is because they're, I feel like they don't want to disappoint you. And I feel like they're scared that they're not enough. They think they're not enough, but until, putting themselves out there, it's almost like finding out that they're not enough for you. Finding out they're not enough for themselves is one thing, but to actually know, they think that you're too good for them. They're spending a lot of time in their head, a lot of anxiety, a lot of late nights not being able to sleep. The more they want you, the more this turmoil is gonna affect this person. But it's not stopping them from wanting to be around you. They want to move forward with you. They just don't know what they have to offer you. They have some delusion that you need them to have everything, they want to give you the world, but they don't feel like they can. At least not right now. All they can give you is themselves, and they feel like that's not enough. But that's where they're lying to themselves. I feel like this connection is something that they actually need. A lot of times we'll meet someone and we feel like we're not enough. We feel like we don't have our shit together. But what we're missing is the fact that we didn't have that person, that we got to this point. And maybe the thing we're missing is that person. Some people have a tendency of shutting things down before they even give it a chance. And I feel like I kind of feel like that's where this person's at, but here's where things change. You know, I feel like the more the person realizes that they're not walking away from this, the more they start to accept it, the more they start to understand it, is the best word I got for it. You know, they're not walking away from this. And the more they realize that, the more they start to realize the only option they have here is to nurture this connection. And I see the way they feel about you is changing them. The way they feel when they're around you is changing them. There's so many things changing what's going on here. And I feel like they're simply starting to accept the connection that's laid before them. You know, their intuition has been telling them to open their eyes, pay attention. They haven't always been listening. But I feel like things are changing. Like I said, with that Six of Swords, I feel like this person is changing, and I feel like there's no stopping it. And I feel like they're finally trusting their intuition rather than ignoring it. And I feel like from the moment they met you, they were ignoring it. But I feel like I said, once they realize they can't unknow you. And they don't want to lose you. And once that all starts to sink in, this person starts to change. They start to realize that maybe they're not enough. But the thing that's changing is they're realizing that they could be. You know, they can get there. They can make you happy. This person will show up for you. They will put in the work. Now they are changing, but I feel like one of the biggest changes this person had is meeting you has sparked a change in this person that I feel like isn't going away anytime soon. And I see them finally facing that fear. You know, finally looking in the mirror and realizing, you know, they don't need to do it on their own. With that Moon card. And I feel like once they start to acknowledge that, and once they start to nurture this connection, once they start to really accept it, I feel like we got a lot of forward movement going on here and a lot of emotional fulfillment. You know, we have that Chariot and that Nine of Cups. I feel like once they start being a little bit more confident in themselves, which is coming, part of those big changes coming for this person. You know, sometimes we're not comfortable in our own skin. And like I said, sometimes we feel like we don't have what someone else wants. Even though we want them more than anything else, it's almost like they're trying to put you first, feeling like they don't want to disappoint you, but also they don't want to waste your time because they didn't feel like they were good enough. But the more they realize that they're not, you know, the feelings that they have for you are only getting stronger and they're not walking away from this, the more they start to listen to that voice inside their head, and that's what's causing these changes. What's changing this person is how they feel about you and how they feel when they're with you. And they don't want to lose that. So they will risk it. And they will risk it all for you. Now we go from someone that's afraid to tell you how they feel to someone that's all in. And I feel like it's moving, like I said, very quickly. You know, and I do see this person finally stepping up, telling you how they feel, finally making you that offer. And I feel like once they do that, we can finally move forward. You know, we can start to really see the potential here. With this person, we have Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Gemini, Libra. There's some Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. You know, sometimes we meet people and we feel this connection to them that's so strong that it's almost like we convince ourselves that they can't feel that way. You know, even though the voices inside your head are telling you one thing, it can be, when you see someone that's that special to you, you see someone that you feel this connection with that isn't going away. When we feel that strongly about people, sometimes when we're not in the best headspace, we believe that, they can do better, that they deserve better. But just in that thinking right there goes to show that, can they? Sometimes we underestimate ourselves. And sometimes, we feel lost in the world. Sometimes we feel broken. We feel alone. And then what we do, which makes no sense to me, is what we do is we try to fix ourselves. And sometimes we try to fix ourselves, and we also push other people away. We push other connections away because we don't think we deserve them. We don't think we're good enough for them. But what the problem is, excuse me, the problem is with that thinking is we're built in sets, is what I believe. I believe that right person comes along, and I feel like they fill voids in us that we're always missing that one part of us. And when we meet that person, it's almost like we become whole. So you not feeling like you're enough, and then when you meet someone and have a connection like this, it would be a shame to ignore it. Because maybe what you've been missing this whole time and what you feel like you don't have enough of is right there in front of you. I don't feel like we're meant to go through this world by ourselves. So to think that we can do everything and accomplish everything by ourselves is a bit silly. Like, for instance, in my case, I didn't grow up in a loving home. I didn't grow up with loving people. And when I met Rose, I was introduced to that. She was brought up in that fashion. And it really changed who I was, and it made me 10 times a better person for it. I thought I had nothing to offer. But it's kind of like, it's kind of like thinking that you have everything, but at the end of the day, you have nothing. You can have everything that you need inside you, but it just takes the right person to come along to bring it out. That special person to come into your life. And I feel like there's different people that come into your life that bring in different things, bring different things out of you. But I feel like there's one particular person that's going to bring out the openness to change. Like I said, sometimes we're scared to open ourselves up to other people because we don't feel like we're enough, or we don't feel like we can give them what they want. But that's not for you to decide. We only live once. So make it count. You feel for someone something special. Don't let that slip away. Because it's not coming every day. Like I said, we all might feel like we're missing something, but I feel like when the right person comes along and we open ourselves to that person, we realize that what we're missing was them. Sometimes we're missing things we don't even know exist until it's like anything else. All the time I experience new things that I never knew existed. And it's because I keep an open mind. Don't reject yourself for someone else. Don't think you're not good enough for someone else until you try. because, you know, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to find that special person until you open yourself up. Transparency is the key. And I will stop rambling. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.